I'd like to thank Iniva, Daniela, and Tessa Jackson for inviting actually Aria again. This conversation is also part of a partnership, a long-term partnership we have with Iniva, bringing artists to present their work here. The first one was Alfredo Jar, we invited in residence in Algiers. The second one was Amina Menia, who's here today and who's also showing works in the exhibition at the Mosaic Rooms. And the third artist, so it's Fayçal Baghriche, who's showing also his work at the Mosaic Room. And all the artists are here, I think, today also in the audience if you want to meet with them. I just would like to add something to my biography. I'm the program curator of ARIA as well, and that's why I'm curating the show of ARIA at the Mosaic Room. And also I'd like to thank the Mosaic Room as well for inviting ARIA and commissioning us an exhibition and to enable and to make it to have made possible all the artists to travel here and to show their work in London. And the show is opening tomorrow. So starting with our conversation, I would like to. Fayçal, it's very difficult to talk about Fayçal work or to summarize his work, and we had many conversations, and everybody has actually, when they see his portfolio, they think that there's several artists that made the work, and we tried together to kind of regroup some works and find some theme or questionings, and it was very difficult. So I think we're going to have a real conversation and jump from a work to another, because there's many links from also over 10 years worth of body of work. There's from year 1 and year 10, there's a connection already. You come and go back to ideas, questionings, or even medium forms of work. So, but I'd like to start as a presentation. There's one. Actually, I know how to summarize Fayçal, and personally, there's a work which I think, for me, represents. Fayçal is also a friend, so which represents his work and also himself, and it's you know which one it is.
Yeah, I suppose.
So we're going to talk through it later, but I really like to show this work first. So maybe it helps you to this one. Yeah. So could we start with this work?
Of course. So it's a video.
Yes, and it's called Point Line Particule, Point Line Particles, which was it's 2010.
Or 2008.
8.
I mean.
So taking this work as a starting point, I'd like you maybe to, in your work you have a lot of interest and in science and the knowledge and or established or research on established facts and the vulgarization of knowledge. And I have the feeling that you bring these back or theories in science and that you go back to the hypothesis to create new kind of knowledge or to create another hypothesis or another theory. So could you, starting maybe with this work Point Ligne Particule, can you explain the process and where the ideas come from?
Yeah, this question of science, I would say vulgarization more than specific knowledge of science. But the way that scientists explain theories or research to a large public, instead of like really people who are specialized and who understand everything. So they try to find images to explain the universe, the world, the mechanic. They try to find like a common object to describe how the world goes. And I think this, I'm quite interested by these aspects, how the science can create object or images. So this is one of my, let's say, my hobby or something that I like. And of course, I don't know, it's really funny because you talk about science in this work, where you don't seem like it doesn't look like a scientist work at all. In fact,
I wasn't talking about this one in particular. Mm-hmm. This one is more empirical experience. Mm-hmm. It's based on that, on this more an empirical experience, and also maybe you could talk about where it comes from. But you have other works. I link it to other works where there's knowledge. The content starts from a knowledge or vulgarization of knowledge, or a scientific experience or theory, and you expand. Or either you go back to the first, the initial hypothesis, and you deconstruct the theory, or you find another answer. But in this specific case, it's more empirical, maybe empirical knowledge or fact.
Yeah,
an
but even,
established fact.
Even in this work, there's like a sort of, as you say, like specific action that can be linked also to the mechanic questions. I mean, of course, this works. It's called Point Line Particles, and this it links to the Kandinsky essay Point Line Plan, which is a scientist work, which is the subject of this book is the art and the aesthetic. But there is like mechanical reflection about how an artist works, what the colors, not in this one, spiritual in the art, how colors can affect the sensibility of the one who saw the colors, how a line is made of, and this question of the hand of the artist on a support, what is a line? So there is this question. I mean, I didn't think about that when I thought about this work. This work was like more about the question of the tag, like the question of the artist in the world. What is the place of the artist in the world? And it came in opposition with the Kandinsky essay when he said like a line is a point in movement to go in the opposite direction of the hand of the artist. So just by this citation, and my action is like thinking about the position of the artist in this world. The artist is not the one who draws the word, but he's the one who just stay static, and the word spin around him and make its own mark. So you can think about also about this question. And also I just thought about it now, but when you see this this point become a line and go through the screen, it reminds me like a comet or something, like really a stellar object.
But that's why you call it particles or particles as well, no?
At the
You
beginning,
said
not
that
at all. At the beginning, just because it's a fact, you have a point, line, and at the end, the particle of paint. But of course, after our discussion, we just begin to think, yeah, that's really interesting, because this word particle is a word really linked to the physics. And I mean, we use it. We use this word a lot in physics, and it came like that. So yes, this question of science, maybe I can travel in my...
Yeah, sure. And like, I mean, particles, and also maybe related to the work exhibited at the...
Yeah, definitely.
Your interest in astronomy and...
yeah, sorry.
And there, the vulgarization of knowledge, actually, and all these sentences and, well, the half of what you see, believe, half of what you see, and none of what you hear. Yeah,
that's the title of this work is this work is shown now at the Mosaic Room.
Tomorrow.
I mean, it's shown now, but you cannot see it.
Yeah.
But it's already installed.
But half of what you see, then.
So
none of what you hear.
So this is a work. Maybe I explain the work.
Yeah,
even if
sure.
you see it tomorrow, then you have the explanation now, and tomorrow you can just see the work without thinking about
Maybe tomorrow they can apply the phrase, no?
This work is made with a disco ball where I took off all the pieces of mirror. So it's supposed to be like something that you hang out on the ceiling, and when it spins, I have a theory about that. When it spins in a discotheque, a disco ball is a form of orbital or system that allow you as a dancer to be on the discotheque like you are on the space, because you are dancing in the space with all these stars surrounding you. I think I mean, maybe it's a little bit like it's my own theory, but I think I'm not completely wrong, because when you think about the disco, I mean, this sort of music, it was really linked to this idea of science fiction, of traveling in space, and I think all this period in the creation and also in music was really focused on this question of the space. And I think also why
the space right here or the space up there?
How do you call it? The outer space, like the deep space.
Yeah.
And I think also, if I try to make an introspection about myself, I think also I born in the 70s, and I grew up in this period where like the space was a magical thing. It was like a few years after the man landed on the moon, and we were like we have in our imagination 2000 as a science fiction period where we go on space. We have like, you know, all this utopia, and I think just now maybe I just kept this sort of activities, I mean brain activities that I used to have when I was a child, and just reproduce it now when I'm 40. So it's not so maybe I think you can be. That's why, I mean, this work. Sorry, I'm going to travel. Yeah, let's see this work. Or also, let's say, this work. Or I have a better one, maybe. Yeah, this one, which show a world spinning so fast that the continent and the country disappeared, and the work behind which we show the vexillological map of the word, which means the double page that you have on the dictionary with all the flags of the word, where I erase everything. So it's really, I think this is quite link works about, you know, the story of stars, as I said, for the disco ball, the Earth, the planets, all of the sort of reflection, give an aesthetic maybe, that can be linked to the science, but it's really, really vulgar science.
Yeah.
It's not going really deeply.
Yeah.
I'm trying now, maybe like in the future years, maybe I try to be more interested because I'm 40 now. No, I'm not 12 years old anymore. So maybe I'm trying to get more involved and trying to understand how things go.
But still, there's in this work, or in half of what you see in this souvenir, this one, and half of what you see, and there's a mechanism, there's a research, there's technology, or you work a lot on that. It's kind of a new demonstration of a phrase or a sentence. You perform and reenact a title or a sentence, and even though it's very strange because now I know where the idea, or you can tell, you say where the idea comes from. The title arrives after, but we have this feeling that you perform the title of the piece.
Yeah.
You reenact this, and it's kind of a demonstration of, and it's the same way the science works. You have a hypothesis, and you have to demonstrate, or through trying and through failure or success, anyway.
Yeah, that's the way
this is
that
also the sense that I see. It's not only about vulgarization, knowledge that you are.
Yeah, like the method I use. Yeah. Also, it's a method like where, as you said, it's an hypothesis. Where I mean, as an artist, you go around the city in your life, and you are a spectator of what happened in front of your eyes, and the word is as it is, and I think. As an artist, I mean, that's my way of working. Mm-hmm. I see the word and I say, oh, what happened if this would be different? Not like on that way. Let's, for example, facing forward. Maybe we can have a look on it. Why if we all, let's say, this is a science hypothesis. The word is going, the time is going forward. What if the time will go forward? What would happen? Let's have a check on, sorry for the light. Let's have a check on facing forward if we want. Because le sens de la marche. It's a little bit long, but it make a pause, which is nice. Oui.
So I'm going to take advantage actually of this film to talk about the relationship you have with the performance. Your work has a strong performative aspect, and I know that you studied theater before training as an artist, and that you have also a conflict between acting and the desire of acting and being an artist, or maybe it's resolved, you're going to say. But in your work, sometimes in this case, you needed to film the performance. You're performing backward. You walk.
Yeah.
And but you need to film it. It's a device, and you need it because it's everything happened in the edition of the work, the montage, and to make it happen.
Yeah, it's a performance and a video.
It's a performance and a video, but it is shown. We can only show it as a video. And in other work, you have work where you perform in front of for an audience, others where you perform for the camera, but still there's this strong link with video art. And it is often, I know that for you, it's you know very well that it's a video performance or a performative video, but it is always shown within the framework of a video program or the way it is exhibited. And so I would like to know what is your intention when you perform in front of an audience or when you film it. What is the criteria? Is it the medium when you decide, when you have an idea? Is it the medium or is it the audience, the reaction of the audience? What is the criteria for you when you...
Yeah, for this one, Facing Forward, for example, it was a literary cinema effect. That's the backward effect, really simple one. So I did it as a movie. And the performance is just here because I have to perform, like you said, in backward during when I shoot the movie. But in fact, I did a performance, like when I was shooting the movie, I was performing backward with these people around me who don't take care about me, like walking forward.
But you weren't performing for them. You were performing for
the camera. I was acting for a video.
Yeah.
I was acting for a video. But this is a video who is interested by the performing act, the action of the body. In fact, I call it video performance, I think, because it's a video. But
it's very much related to the cinematic effect and the cinema.
It was
the oldest, as you said, the oldest effect
so easy because you have a camera with a film and you just have the film going in one side and you just rewind it. We did it all with any stuff. But at that time, it was 2002. I mean, it wasn't not the same situation than now. I was just, at the time, I had no studio, no money. I had one camera, like a Sony, a small Sony, not very good quality. And I have a body. So just so simple like that, let's say, hey, we can do something together. So I just asked friends to film my body because I haven't anything else.
Yeah.
So
in the case of Philippe, there's nobody actually.
Exactly.
Let's.
We can even see
but
Philippe
still,
without.
It is.
We can talk on Philippe without.
Let's talk on Philippe.
But I do not put the sound because the sound.
In Philippe as well here because you.
Well, let's put it.
I mean here, you explaining from the beginning. You say.
Philippe is a mannequin with no body on it.
It's there, yeah.
Yeah, this is a real. So, for example, this is. I mean, I show it all the time as a video, and people watch it as a video. But at the beginning, it wasn't a video. It was something related to the performing art. Who shows just a mannequin. But after, how can you show this performance or this non-performance? And that's exactly the question that performing art asking.
But this is a document, an archive, and
this is an archive.
You don't consider it the same way as
point line particle,
or facing forward,
so, or like other stuff.
And I wouldn't show it the same way, and I wouldn't consider it the same.
Yeah, this is an archive.
This is a document and a recording. A recording.
But in fact, as a video, it's I mean, it's really funny when I'm there and when I see all these people giving money to the statue. But it's funny also in video, because we see what happened.
But here you did it for the audience, who was the main
the
concern.
The audience is the people who can see the same thing than me. But I didn't ask you to come with me. Otherwise, people.
But the audience is everybody. I mean, it's you're not obliged to invite them, and actually, you rarely invite people to come to your performance, or you don't say what you don't inform them that you're gonna perform. Like in the case of the one, it's
the dirty story. La Sale Histoire?
Yes, La Sale Histoire de Fayçal Baghriche.
Yeah.
The dirty story of Fayçal Baghriche, based on Jean Eustache. Yeah. Can you tell about this one?
Yeah.
Do you have?
But they don't listen to us.
They're expecting him moving. Maybe they're gonna start and put money at the.
Yeah, people usually when you to finish with this. Usually when you have this mannequin, when you've been to Barcelona or whenever you put some money and the mannequin say thank you, like he moves a lot. So people were expecting that the mannequin moves. So it doesn't. So they say okay, he doesn't move. That's all. And
but they would still give money. Even though
they give money only once, but after other people come and they also give money.
Yeah.
And what is interesting, it's just in front of the Louvre, and I was quite lucky because it was and this woman touched the statue. It's crazy. Like perversion or. That's crazy, no? It's the only one who touches this. I'm in Paris, you know. So slim, so. But it's in the Louvre. Really, you get. You cannot see the metro station, but the metro station is just on the left. So people go out of the metro. They are on holidays. They go out of the metro. They saw the statue and they give money automatically. It's €1 per minute. Yeah, I did like a
study. You have the figures.
So
it was better to be to have a fake body, or a model there, than being working somewhere. You just put it there, or to perform.
It's also work. This is work. And to survey it. So it was something.
Somebody tried to steal it?
No, but you never know.
Okay. Okay. So then, can you tell more about the dirty story of Fayçal Baghriche?
Yeah.
Because this is an interesting.
I don't have like a video here, but I have.
But you have pictures or
I have picture probably. The Dirty Story of Fayçal Baghriche is an adaptation of The Dirty Story, a movie of Jean Eustache, who has been shot. It has been shot 2 times. It's exactly the same movie, who has been shot once with Michael Lansdale, which is a very, very famous and great actor, first movie. And the second movie is exactly the same story, but told by someone who not famous, who called Jean-Noël Pic, which is not a very good actor also. So Jean Eustache did exactly the same 2 movies. And in this movie, you don't have any action, you don't have like illustration of a scenario. You just have like one guy sitting on a sofa and telling his story. And the idea of Jean Eustache was like not illustrating a scenario, but giving to an actor the power to tell a story, and the public can imagine the images and the story in his mind. And the story, it's a dirty story because it's a story of someone who go into a cafe and he go down and he go to the toilet, the woman toilet, and he see by the hole, he see the woman, the sex of the woman, and so this is a very dirty story because this guy, I mean, on the screen, he's really telling, he's a voyeur. He's really telling his story, like, and it's a very, very good story. If you have a chance to see it, it's called La Sale Histoire, the dirty story of Jean Eustache. And this is a very dirty story that you cannot tell in public. So,
what was the intention of Jean Eustache, actually, to repeat, I mean, twice in different formats, 35mm and...
Yeah, the first one, Michael Langsdale, is 35mm, and the second one is 16mm, and great actor, not great actor. It was the questioning the cinema first, the medium of the cinema, what is the purpose of the cinema, this question of illustrating. And also I think there's, I don't know, maybe with the story of the hole, because you look into the sex of the woman through a hole, there's something like really, I think, getting out of the cinema or getting into the cinema, you don't know. But in any case, he did it like twice, and I said, okay, I'm going to...
But it was a relationship, actually what I wanted you to answer, it was that it was a direct relationship with the audience, and that he wanted the audience to do the cinema, to do the job of the director, watching this man telling the story, he was the voiceover, and the people in front of their eyes watching this and looking at him were doing the job of the director and making cinema.
That's what you dit,
hein? You told me yesterday, you forgot to say it now.
Yeah, say it now, but in English. Oh, I have an extract, but it's in French. Well, okay, some people don't understand French.
So
really quickly.
In which circumstances what
okay,
occasion you
so there
did
was
this?
Like, this is discussion, huh? So it was during Nuit Blanche. It's an event in Paris where many events happen everywhere, and there was like a night of tales. People tell African tales. I don't know.
Parisian tales.
I don't know. And I said like to the curator, do not announce me, and I would just come and say my story like that. And they say, okay, is it another story here? I say, yeah, I have a story. And I begin by saying the story of Jean Eustache. So people who doesn't know the movie thought it was my story. And you cannot tell such story in a public. Just an extract, like 2 minutes.
Faire boire de la bière. En ayant préparé mon jeton pour aller l'avoir directement par le trou. Ça m'excitait drôlement. Et d'autres fois, c'était tout le contraire. Enfin là, j'ai pris 2 cas extrêmes, c'était à peu près ça. Et parfois, je voulais voir à qui il appartenait, ce sexe qui m'avait donné de l'horreur, qui m'avait donné envie de vomir, et tout ceci à genoux, en retenant mes cheveux pour pas qu'ils traînent dans la piste qu'il y avait plus ou moins par terre. Et en attendant les talons qui descendaient, les gens qui voulaient prendre leur place. Puis je voyais que c'était une très belle femme, et que son sexe me déplaisait. Et je voyais tout de suite à quel point je me serais trompé si j'avais essayé de faire connaissance avec cette femme. Et alors là, toute la hiérarchie du corps était complètement bouleversée.
Voilà, you cannot understand, but for the people who understand, it's quite funny. So La Sale Histoire, this is the movie of Jean Eustache. So this is something I did it, and for example here, this is not a video.
No, definitely not.
Definitely.
You took but it's ironic that Jean Eustache did 2 films, and you do the 3rd version, and you perform it as it's a performing act, it's not. So you extract the...
Yeah, but to be honest, at the beginning, I wanted to do a movie also, like Jean Eustache. But in public...
Confessions
yeah,
tonight,
like,
huh?
I should say that before. but I mean, I asked my friend, like, can you film 2 cameras, one on the public, one on me, and after I will edit, and I will do the 3rd version of Jean Eustache, but like with a mini DV, with my cheap camera.
DIY.
Exactly, and it will be like really something like lower definition than Jean Eustache. That was my goal, but after I saw the image, I say, I mean, I didn't expect it was so bad. So I was like really not well filmed.
Yeah.
So I just keep this where you
And
can
it
see the
wasn't a good
public
homage.
listening my story. So But
also here, I mean, there's some people like in the audience, there's some cinephile, they know that you're a performer, and the others. So there's this idea always, you go back to the cinema as well through that there's and the others, they just think you're a freak.
And I just want to show this work, Leap into the Void, which is, I mean, the same period. It was 2004. I just took this, this photo of Yves Klein, and I just erased Yves Klein. So for people who know the photo, they can, as I told you, they can imagine Yves Klein jumping here into the void. And for the people who doesn't know the photo, they just say, "Oh, that's sad. That's nice, but that's sad." They don't really know what to say because I mean, it's just a photo. But what is interesting in this Yves Klein reference is Yves Klein also is performing for no one. He doesn't even perform because it's a fake photo. He jumps and his friends are.
He's performing for the camera. I mean, like
he's performing for the camera, but after the
them, they do a montage.
So I mean, I don't know, but I was like interested by this action, this sort of action, and also by the question of the falling. What is your status as an artist? Are you like an avant-garde artist who's flying into the air and taking everybody with you, or are you like more Bastianader artist where you're falling from your bike, you're falling from the tree, you're falling from...
So you can show the falling, actually.
Yeah, so I think this... I did this action in 2001. It was... it called...
La chute, the falling.
La chute. Let's go here. It's not... it's just an action without... This is... yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a falling action. It was during the FIAC, and we talked about it already. For me, it was my first, it was 2001, and I declare myself as an artist with this performance, which is like really questioning the statue of the body, at the same time the statue of the sculpture, or let's say the erectic.
Pete, you were supposed to help the translation.
No. I mean, a sculpture is...
phallic.
Sorry. Yeah, a sculpture is an erection. It's true. Yeah, it's a phallic, it's something that go...
up.
Yeah. So by falling... Cutting. Shit. Okay, we're done. So cutting the legs. I mean, it was in fact it was a reference to the
something standing and
to the reference to 9/11.
So this one was the 11th of October 2001. Yeah, 1 month. So it was kind of your manifesto, like to enter in the field of art. It was like when you stop having this questioning about should I be an actor, or should I do cinema, or should I do art?
No, it was like what do I do now? This is a war. Because, I mean, really, 9/11, these two legs in New York fall down. It was really like impressive for many people, and it was really also impressive for me. So this questioning of like what is a twin tower except like two legs, and cutting down by a terrorist action. So what is my place? Now we can talk about the Arab situation and all of this. What is my place as someone who is Muslim and who is Arab in this European country, as someone who's looking for a job or as an artist? What is my position? And I think it was, that's why I think it was a real manifesto, like, okay, this happened, I have to take my place in the world. What will be my place? And I decide, okay, my place will be like an artistic, I take the artistic position.
And so it was, you have to explain also the context, is FIAC in Paris.
FIAC, it's an art fair.
Art fair.
It's an art fair.
The major art fair in France.
Yeah, where
everything has its own place. Everybody has plays the role. The gallerist, the collector. That was very important for you.
There's no place for action like that. I mean, it's not supposed to happen at the FIAC. At the same time, this is always during the fair this sort of action happen, but this is not supposed to happen. And this is also an invisible action. This is the performing. For who is this performance, in fact?
It's for you. It was your manifesto.
Exactly. Yeah, and for these 3-4 people who saw me and who
But they helped you out, no?
They helped me, yeah.
It was a good omen for the future, no?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So, talking about 9/11, you have this performance that you've done in 2011, no? In Berlin. How is it called? Sorry, because I know the French titles and.
Which one?
The one you performed this story you found on the internet.
The last man out.
The last man out.
That's me.
Can you show a
10
bit?
years
I know
after.
you don't want to, but please show a bit of the video. The spectator. Can you show a bit of the video?
No, it's not.
Aye, please. See, yeah, you can show it. We watched a bit. I think it's.
Okay, just but this is.
So
not
this is a story. I mean, or videos already,
funny.
or interviews, and like recording you found on YouTube, and you never found the whole story. You always found.
No, I was really interesting about this question. Question of I just make it wrong. I was just interested by this question of the 9/11 and the conspiracy theory, which is like. What is interesting in the conspiracy theory is like having a reality who is proposed to you, and you say, no, this is not the reality. There is another reality. What you see is not it's not what you see. I mean, it's not the reality.
And there were, I mean, the 9/11 gave birth to a lot of conspiracy theories and narratives.
So when you check on the internet, it's full of this sort of things. So I mean, some stupid thing and some. But after research, I found this testimony of a guy who seems quite credible, which is the janitor who works in the World Trade Center, and he tells his story. And he show photo with him, with George Bush, with him. It seems so true, and he's so poor. I mean, he doesn't look like, as a liar. But what is interesting is like he used all the les ressorts dramatiques, the drama tricks. He used all the drama tricks to make people listen to him and get into his story, which is an epic story. Like it's really a drama. As a theater, you have like one scene during one day with many things happen, which is an epic story. Like many people die, and at the beginning he doesn't believe in God. He's an agnostic, and time after time he just like suddenly realizes that he can do something with the help of God, and at the end, so he's a believer. So all the courses is really as a scenario, like it looks like an American scenario.
There's a
it's
climax,
an American story.
and there's somebody, and it ends really well. There's
so
a happy
because
ending.
you talk, this is not a real happy ending.
I mean, you got out.
Yeah,
he's here to tell the story.
So
it's a happy ending.
Yeah, in a certain manner. But at the end, I mean, what I found interesting is how this question of reality is exhibiting and how it's interrogating. But also, this is
stand-up comedy.
It's a stand-up comedy with, like La Sale Histoire, the dirty story. You have it's already written. You just have to play it. So it's a game. I mean, I don't know if it's part of my visual art
practice.
Thing. Yeah, but like La Sale Histoire. But I'm interested by this subject. One thing I want to say, as an artist, I want to be free. This is like common sense, but I want to really be free to be able to do what I want. So if I want to do something like that, I would love to do it because it's having fun. Making art also, it's like to have pleasure. So I can do things about that. I can do think about Islam or think about, I can do T-shirts or sandwiches. I mean, this is really important to feel free and to do not like feel in jail
Trapped.
in your practice. And so I try to do to be happy. And I just
can you put it for at least 30 seconds?
Yeah, but my accent is very
I
bad.
didn't know what it was. I thought it was a piece of clothes. And when I realized it was his skin, I said, "What happened? What happened?" And when I looked at his face, finally, he got pieces of his face. A black guy named Fayçal Baghriche from Honduras, which I didn't know. He worked for Alamark, the company that put soda into the soda machine, candy into the candy machine, and he was located on the B2 level when this explosion happened. There was fire, and he wanted to protect himself. He covered his face, and that's how he got burned. So at that moment, I said, "Don't move." I was going to pick up the phone to call the emergency medical unit that was located on the building 2, the South Tower. Building 1 and building 2 are connected through a basement. I was going to pick up the phone when I heard another explosion. And it was so hard that the walls cracked again, and people thought that it was an earthquake because they're going under the doorframe thinking it was an earthquake. And I said, "No, I think it's a bomb." And the reason why I said that, osmosis, I survived the 1993 bombing. I was stuck in an elevator for 4 hours. They have to break through a wall to get us out. So I thought it was a bomb.
Well, you get it. So I don't know what to think about it. I don't know if it's well acted. I mean, I'm not 100% satisfied because first I'm supposed to play Puerto Rican janitor, and I mean in France it works because people don't really speak English. But here with my French accent, it's really hard like to show.
But
it.
So you really. You're sticking to the real story, even you haven't rewritten the biography of the man.
No, I didn't do anything.
Personal. So you wanted to perform. I mean,
it's just like as you have a text and you're just acting the text.
But
I just cut the pieces which is too much conspiracy where you cannot trust his story.
But that's I think where like this dub and. Like the insatisfaction you have regarding this work maybe lies in the fact that my job as a audience when I'm in the cinema, I can believe that even though you have an accent, if you say you're Puerto Rican, you are, but maybe in the world of art is really in the field of art and in the context of art, we don't have this contract between the audience and the performer. It's not
exactly,
it's more open. So I think that is maybe the issue.
But I mean, people. I mean, where they were at the end, people know me, even they know. I think if I let the video going on, at the end you listen to the story because the story is so like, and you just have to perform it. But at the end, people were. I mean, from the beginning, they know it's me, and they just listen to the story, and they were like that because things happen. But I don't know. I not feel really good. There's something else I would like to do as a performing. Is like the story that we talk about the consulate of Algeria, where the consul came.
Do you want to do it? To perform it?
The consul came and to explain how to work, to have your visa and to learn. And people were waiting for like 2 hours, and he came when people are gathered, and he began to explain like a pedagogic way to do your administration. So it was a performance for half an hour from this guy. It was so funny. And how it worked with the green ticket, the blue ticket, the green ticket on the first floor, the blue ticket on the... And it was just a performance. So I don't know, but this sort of material, as I said, when you are in your life of every day, you see things and you say, wow, it's a jewel.
So
it's
maybe
a pearl.
You can tell more about your methodology or your artistic methods of... Because I have the feeling what I like in the work, it's always when we talk, it's like it starts from an anecdote, from a story, from something you've heard or something you've seen I would never see. So you point point out things, and I think it works really well after with the title, that the title, as I said, comes after. So it's quite complete. Could you explain your method? Like here was an example, but with other works such as maybe this one, the imperfections, maybe, or the...
Yeah. Maybe I can explain what is the imperfections.
Yeah.
And the imperfection, it's a work. Let's say felt pen on glass. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I hide the text because I'm the text. This work is made. It's a small piece of work with glass, and it's frames from my framer. And what happened with framers, they usually receive the glass to their shop, and they frame the work. But sometimes, when they are cleaning the glass, they detect an imperfection on the glass, so they cannot use it. And sometimes it's a bubble affair, or it's like a
scratch.
A scratch, or un grain de sable, sand, something black and very small.
A dust.
Anyway, they cannot use the glass, so to be sure that they're not going to use it on the big frame, they just do a circle, and then after they have to do the optimization of this big frame. So they cut it here, they cut the other one, and they try to use the maximum of the glass. And at the end, they have just a piece of work that they cannot use anymore because it's useless and there's an imperfection on it, so they threw it away.
But you pay attention to this fact because of another idea, actually, an unrealized work and a story somebody told you while you were researching on another work.
Yeah, many things are related to stories, like this one, for example. So that's the method. This is a work, but how it came, if you want to know, is because I was talking with a woman from Saint-Gobain. Saint-Gobain is a very big company in France who make glass for centuries and centuries. They used to do it for the kings, and so they are really famous. And they become more famous because they have invented the floated technique of the glass, which is like liquid glass, liquid glass on a bath of, I don't know if it's mercury or something really chemical. And they put it, and the glass goes very flat. Because before, to make flat glass, they used to blow it, do a circle, cut it, and open the cylinder. That's how they used to do. And so you have like many imperfections. They found this method, Saint-Gobain, so they are like the great industry of France. So they are very, very big, and they have like many companies. So they do the float glass. And in the factory, they do something really incredible. When out of the factory, you have this big panel of glass, which is 6 meters by 3, and they have robots who detect the imperfection on the glass. And when the robot detects an imperfection, there's a gun of paint who shoot a paint on the imperfection. So in this big panel 6 by 3, you have like one imperfection here, here, here. So they put it, after every panel, they put it on un tréteau.
A tresson.
Something like that. They put all the glass one by one. And so at the end, when you look at all this dot of paint with all this piece of glass, you have
it looks like that.
Yeah, you have like a profondeur. It's like starry sky, un ciel étoilé.
Yeah.
Ciel étoilé?
Stars in the sky. Like
it's
that.
like stars in the sky.
And actually, so the lady who was telling you that, she knew your work, she knew that work.
Yeah.
Here, and she referred to that, no? She said it reminded.
Yeah, she saw that, and she said like, oh, I saw something that reminded me of your stars, you know, I saw this in Saint-Gobain. And because of this story, I said like, wow, I want to do this big artwork, but it was impossible. I mean, not now. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I was aware of the imperfection on the glass. So when I've been to my framer and I saw I saw a circle in the trash, I thought, oh, this must be an imperfection. And that's how I said, like, okay, I cannot do this big work, but I can do small work with small imperfection. But the question of imperfection is really interesting. I really like this idea of finding the micro imperfection as a testimony of something happened. Let's say it's a pearl. Every time I find one, it's a pearl. And I was talking with someone earlier saying that the pearl, it's also an imperfection, in fact. It's something in this area where inside of a shell, everything is like soft and you have this imperfection, and the shell protects herself, and it constructs this pearl. So the imperfection is like the motor, the engine of something, of a creation. So I don't know, and also because we're talking about this astrophysical question and this astronomy question, the position of the Earth. Astrophysicians talk about the Earth, our planet in the universe. What is our planet? Is it an accident? So we are alone, or like a few of us, or this is something that happened normally. And our planet in the universe is like an imperfection in the deep space of this small glass. That's something related to.
Do you want to add quickly about this one also in the? Okay, so I think we have to. You don't want. It's time to. So if you have any question, we'll open the question to the audience.
The microphone. Thank you.
No, wait. You ask the question. It's not finished yet. You're still here until 8. So anyone has okay, no? I have one. Actually, I have one that I was sure that somebody would love to ask and would ask. Atef, you have a question? Yeah.
So just I would like to know why you did not show more works of you, and why you just decided to show these works we did.
Because we talk.
We just.
I would like to see more works I knew of you.
You want to see which work?
No, just I speak about the selection of the works we did see today.
Yeah, in fact, we just with Yasmina begin to discuss, and we thought, like, how can I do the presentation? Do I just select some works and we show the work, which would be a talk, in fact?
But he would be on his own. He wouldn't need me.
And we said, like, okay, because we said, like, okay, let's go maybe through the artwork. I don't know, maybe because this discussion can help also people to understand some things that they know about my work. And it can give how do you say, l'envie, the desire, to the people who know my name to Google it.
So
or to go
this is what happened, actually.
And to go on my website, fayçalbaghriche.com, and check the work. Yeah, I know. I would love to see.
But it's 10 years, I said at the beginning, this is 10 years worth of work. I mean, the body of work is huge. There's many more. And also I said that it was very difficult to explain and to find a logic or to divide in themes, or because they're all crossing all kind of genres or medium or questioning. So it's very difficult. So we decided to play we know each other, to play the game of, okay, this is an in-conversation, so let's have a conversation.
And let's show the work how it is.
But it's true that we saw a lot of performative work.
Yeah.
Work around performance, and Fayçal is also renowned for his installation work, and we saw very little.
Yeah, but it's a question of time. We don't have enough time.
I did a talk once where I just show my work without speaking. And that was really interesting, because you don't speak and you just show the images one by one and the videos, and it's over. It takes like a long time, and after the discussion comes. It was really interesting. It's called cool conference, like conference without any talk. That was quite interesting. But it's true, I mean, yeah. But during the question I can do that if you want.
Yeah.
Vasily, maybe?
I just wanted to ask, one thing thing that struck me as I was looking at the works that you showed, even the performative works or the works that were documented in video, is the kind of like the more sculptural element that exists within these works. And I was curious if you want to say something about it. That even the spray piece with the train passing by, somehow you explore the possibility of a train becoming part of a sculpture, or the possibility of the paint becoming part of a moving sculpture in some sense. And thinking like also the notion of time that you mentioned that is kind of like a big part of how you think they work. I was wondering, like, how do you think of the sculptural elements or the temporal elements with as
specific in this artwork?
In the works that are not sculptural as such, that they're not the kind of like typical idea of a sculpture.
Yeah, I understand. This, I mean, I can
even the ones that the so-called imperfections, it has a very strong sculptural element without necessarily being a sculpture itself somehow.
When you say sculptural elements about the imperfection, you're talking about the idea of making a sculpture.
Yeah. Mm. Also, even the fast forward. Again, you kind of occupy the position of a sculpture somehow. You know, also the notion of time, like you still while everything else is moving, you move together with the flow and all this, or in opposition. So yeah, I just found it interesting, and I was curious if you wanted to tell it.
You mean how sculpture can
but that's true,
integrated in my work, even when it's not sculpture,
exactly,
but something
exactly.
interesting.
Like the train, you told me the train was kind of this moving wall, like in relationship to street art. And the train was the wall and the mobility of street art, and becoming like the support of the mobile one, and eventually it is the wall.
Yeah, exactly. For the point line particle, the video with the train is really something really linked to what Vasily just said, because it's this is a sort of evolution of the tag, how it has evolved in the time, by first tagging the surfaces of the architecture, and suddenly realize that why tagging a wall that cannot move when you can tag a train that go all around the city and take your name with it. So it's at that moment, this is like a really not only sculptural question, but like a cinetic question, which is like the support can move. This is terrific. I mean, when you think about it, how to think this as an act of paint, but as act of presence of the body also. When the train is le prolongement,
the
continuation of the body, like. And also, just to refer that what I talk about my body as a sculpture, when I refer to the 9/11 and the falling of my body, exactly at that time my body was a sculpture. But this is like a question that we aborde, like in dance or in theater also, like performing bodies is just when a director performs the body, he see masses in the space, going into the space and make it go quickly, stop, dance. This is like something really related to the act of creation of. But this is specific, like this is a specific art, which called dance or theater. But yeah, I go on again.
I was going to ask you a question actually about the gesture when someone's drawn around the imperfection in the glass. And I was going to say about the gesture of drawing around the imperfection in the glass, and was also related perhaps to the gestures of the censors in Family Friendly, which has just come up serendipitously. So of these kind of found artworks by people who aren't artists, kind of thing.
Yeah, the question is it a ready-made? No, it's not a ready-made, in fact, because I mean it has to be made by someone. It's not something like was been produced industrially. There's something like handmade by someone who. They are very similar, these two works, Imperfection and Family Friendly. Family Friendly is censored image took from magazine that I bought in Dubai, where the nudity is prohibited. So you have like this censor who draw on magazines. So what I do, I I buy two issues of the same magazine, and I frame the page and with a Marie Louise or Passepartout, I don't know, except the framed, except the censored image. So here, what we have someone also, a hand working, and there's many works that I didn't talk about, which really involve the creation made by someone else than the artist.
Le détournement, or
Yeah.
the idea of you coming after le détournement.
Yeah.
It's already somebody who had an
Who did the
intervention, or
And me,
you come, or you point it, or you like underline.
Am I an artist when I do that, or I'm a collector? Maybe it's a collection, because I really love, and this is really practical for an artist, because you can say, I love this work. I mean, you love it because you love it as a collector, love a work, because you just found it somewhere, and it brings you some ideas and some aesthetic values that you are really interested by. So you just, I mean,
It's
just
already
collect it.
made?
You collect
Can
it.
you explain this, for instance, this image?
Yeah, this is a studio
photograph.
set in Ouarzazate with a mecha who has been built for the movie The Journey of Ibn Battuta. And after the end of the movie, everybody left, and they left the Kaaba alone in the desert. Just describing.
Maybe to finish, do you want to show a work?
Maybe they have-
Oh, there's more questions.
Maybe they have questions.
Ah,
Regarde.
fantastic, man.
Une fois qu'il y en a un qui est lancé, après ça.
I think you mentioned Arab situation or Arab uprising. I think have you done anything about Arab uprising? I think you just
About what?
about Arab revolution, about Middle East.
I don't understand. No, I'm really
Uprising in Middle East.
Arab Revolution?
Yes. I think you mentioned Arab situation.
Oh yeah,
if I'm not
at a
wrong.
certain time, at 9/11, where I felt at that moment I was Arab, because, we had this discussion with Yasmina about what is about my Arabitude, my Arab origins, and all of this. And Yasmina asked me also about the Algerian relation. I mean, what relation I have with Algeria, with my religion, and all of this. And I said, like, I mean, I born in Algeria, and I came to France when I was 5 years old. So I have this education, this Arab education, this Islamic education, and at the same time I just grew up like in France as a immigrant.
Migrant.
As a migrant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so my problematics are not the problematic of an Arab, someone who is Arab. I mean, it's not a problematic of an Algerian guy or Lebanese. It's a problematic of someone who lives in France with Algerian origins. So you can find like issues like mine in the diaspora, in people who have the same curses than me, that I have. So of course, now after in certain of my work, you find this relation with my origins or with my religion, because it's also really present, because I grew up with that. But as an artist, when I wanted to do art, when I study art, when I'm interested by art, I see art as a preoccupation of aesthetic thing. So I do it as like aesthetic problematic, and not sociological problematic or autobiographic problematic, but as really trying to think how you see the world, how the forms work together, and how the colors happen. So it's really in this term that I thought about the art. So after, of course, I put my biography in the work. I put my way of seeing the world. It comes also because I'm coming from there. But I didn't want to avoid like question linked to the politics or to the sociology, but time after time, I think, because of my relation with France and the way that my relation with Algeria and with the Middle East involved, because I go there, because I spend time there, because I meet people from there, so my experience bring phenomena that I explore in my work. I mean, because I have been invited in Morocco in a residency, I was in Morocco, so I saw things that happen in Morocco. I've been to Ouarzazate in cinema studio, and I saw this Mecca. Of course, I was confronted to that. And as an aesthete, as an artist, I cannot say, yeah, okay, this is just a studio set. For me, this is a Tony Smith, Lost in the Desert, who related to the Islamic world, which is the past, and also this question of the past and the future. You don't know what. So all this problematic suddenly arise from something that I see. And I say, okay, I'm going to take a photo, of course. I have to take a photo. So it's a question of the proximity that you have with your reality that help you to change your way of seeing and the way of you making art. So the question of Arab Revolution, I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything to say in my art about Arab Revolution. What I have to say is a post-nationalist way of thinking, like it's sorry, it's Arab, not Arab. Just the sort of question, for example, this work, which is just red flag world, where you cannot see any country where all the flags are red, but if you unfold the flag, you see like there's a Tunisian one, a Turkish one, a French or Canadian one. So this is, I'm more like in, let's say for this one, I use like a national symbol to do a chromatic abstraction. I say like erasing. The spinning globe is the same. I use like a geopolitical question to do like a blue sphere. So I transform this sociological thing in form and in colors. That's what happened, in fact. Just I come back to, sorry, close your, voilà. That's what happened with this also. I try to take this, but to make it focus to the art more than the other questions.
Sorry, just the family friendly. It was. I mean, it was an aesthetic interest, but it was made in Dubai. So in that context, the reading of it and the understanding is different.
Yeah.
Like people would see it as you were showing censorship, or it was maybe a critic. I mean, you're Muslim anyway, so So what was the reception of this work? How it was in Dubai? It was the way it was seen or not?
There was a debate about showing this work.
Yeah.
From people from Dubai Culture who has invited us at the residency. And our, homologue, or people who take care of the Dubai Culture with the residency say, I prefer to ask to Shiha. And so it was like, okay. And I said like, for me, if you prohibit, that will be interesting for me also, if you decide to do not show the family friendly, which is quite funny thing. So he asked, and she has a nice answer. She said like, this is a magazine that we sell in our shop, and it's not prohibited in the shop, so you can show it without any problem. So I said, okay, you can show it. That's good.
But straight away they thought that he was a critic, or
not at all.
No?
And this is funny because as an Occidental person, you say, oh, maybe they will not want just to show this because they will think we are criticizing the system of censorship of the Emirate, but they don't even think about this is a bad thing. It's normal to be, you're not going to show naked women, you just, of course. I mean, they don't even think how you're thinking, this way of thinking.
Yeah, they don't.
So they don't think it's a critic because they don't, I mean, what's the point? So, and this family-friendly theory is really funny because Occidental, when you show this theory to an Occidental person, you show them, they say, oh my God. And they feel like terrified. This artwork has been censored. And this is really the extreme opposite than if you show a naked woman to someone from Dubai. It would be like, oh my God, showing this in newspaper, come on. That's really interesting. This
this mirror,
this,
different opinion.
This really
the confrontation.
I want to talk about the message project.
Yes, I'd like to. Can Daniela? Yeah. Can we finish on this, or there's another question, or I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was about to ask something about the message, so it's okay. I see a lot of references to other artists in your work. You're speaking about Yves Klein, Kandinsky in Point Ligne Surface, and Mustafa Al-Aqad, and Jean Eustache. So can you speak a bit about that? And you can speak at the same moment about the message.
I don't know if I speak about it or just I show an extract, maybe.
Could you answer the question and we end on the message project?
Art and other artists and kind of claiming affiliation, references, homage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you interrogate someone else's work?
اقرأ. I answer the question. I don't know what to say. This is your references, and because I've been in an art school in France where you have you eat all these artistic references, and of course you react to this sort of thing. But let's come back to point line particle. The reference to Kandinsky is not
came after.
The reference to Kandinsky came after. The first reference was a hip hop, and after Kandinsky came, but
in the title.
By the title, by what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, someone before me did something related to that. So it's like when you show an image of someone else, you say like, oh, this image is from this, but I did something on it. But okay, quickly.
Just you.
محمد لا يكتب ولا يقرأ.
But he can speak.
ماذا يقول محمد؟
They are God's words, not his.
أية كلمات وأي إله؟ إله يتكلم. محمد يهدي.
When God reveals his message to Muhammad, he remembers every word. Then he tells it to those who can write. This is the Quran.
محمد رجل أجاع نفسه ليحلم. ألا تقولون إنه يختبئ في دثاره مغمض العينين؟
But his heart is open.
أنت اركله تقديرا لفصاحته.
There is no purpose in that. Doesn't Muhammad realize we live by giving housing to the gods? We own the Kaaba. Every year the tribes of Arabia come here to Mecca to pray and to buy from us. Now were we to replace 300 gods with just one, whom we cannot even see, who is supposed to be in Taif and Medina, here in my house, in Jerusalem, on the moon? Where would Mecca be then? The gods are both our worship and our revenue.
You cannot buy and sell God.
ستعلمك الصياط.
It was a short extract, and so it was a French subtitle. So just 2 minutes to say this movie is from Mustafa Al-Aqad, a very famous movie in the Arab world, in the Islamic, Arabo-Islamic world, and completely unknown in the Occidental countries. But this movie has been shot 2 times in English and in Arabic, with English actors and with Arab actors. And they are exactly the same movies, the same script, the same costume, the same setting, only the main characters change. And so I bought the DVD with the 2 versions. And I just edit them, and the principle, you understood it, is just like making a conversation between the Arab actors and the English actors. And the movie is 3 hours long. And that's it.
Thank you, Fayçal.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.